is the crossing of the staffs, which means that any may come up to the podium. Majum, which means to stand. Pointing like you've done, means to turn and face the east. You can finish, take care of her if it needs it. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Madash, I.S.U.P.K, Yahweh, Relakavka, Taba'a, Ratazayaka, I.S.U.P.K, Ba'aratazak, Kawuk, I.S.U.P.K, Bashamayim, Nathan, Lunaw, Lukam, Kol, Yavum, Wasalak, Wasalak Nawa, Wawawak Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Wawaki Nawa, Wala'a, Kabayai Nawa, Badasai one, Abal, Awashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, I.S.U.P.K, Hamalakwa, Wa'alu, Watapart, La'awalamyam Aman. This is the Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Prayer for the cock, or the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, Babakashah, Nathanahu, Pakak, La Rapa'ah, Kal Makalah, Ukal Manawa, Pakak, La Tahar, Hamatazarayim, Pakak, La Hakim, Hamatnu, Pakak, Al Rakawat, Latama Alu, Lagarshan, by Hashem Yahushai, the water Aman. Prayer for the power in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh, wa Yahushai, wa miyaka alu, wa alahayim, matazabia, alawak Yohanna, ha alawakim, hazaranyim, ha kwatazayanyim, ha kayayim, wa kwakim, Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, the water Aman. Prayer for the blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahanna, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and assistants. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanyim, Al-Ha'arim, Ma'ayim, Yaba'ah, Izariah, Ma'ayim, Yahweh, Aishah, Shamayim, Warataza, Al Yathan, Lamawat, Ragoka, Al Yanabum, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanabum, Wala'a, Yashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Ya'awu, Shamarka, Ya'awu, Tizalka, Al, Yad, Yumyaka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Wayarak, Bayala, Ya'awu, Yashamarka, Mukol, Rai, Yashamar, Atapashka, Ya'awu, Yashamar, Tazaka, Wawaka, Ma'aita, Wa'ai, Awulam. Psalms 121. In English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, all Damiyah, Lakak, all Hakarash, all Lashakwat, all Kayah, Yahama, Ash, Al Aimaka, Ya'arayamwa, Sawada, Weta, Ya'aitazawa, Al Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakidam, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham, Yasha'al, Awad, Al Baryat, Rafu, Ahoya, Wadawam, Washmai, Alyam, Wa'abu, Wa'agorium, Wa'bal, Wa'amuan, Wa'amalak, Walashah, Ayin, Yeshabia, Tawur, Gam, Ayawa, Zarawa, Lapanya, Lawat, Selah, Nabian, Wanakal, Kayashawan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayan Da'ara, Hayawa, Damun, La Dama, Shayatamwa, Nara, Yamawa, Ka'ira, Wagaza'abu, Wagazabak, Wagazazor, Manai, Kol, Nasayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Mayarashah, Lanawa, Ah, Nawa, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayatamwa, Kagogula, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rokah, Ka'ach, Taba'ira, Ya'ira, Wagalahaba, Dalahat, Paryam, Khan, Gardatma, Basairika, Wabasa, Wapafka, Tabahalam, Mala'a, Panyaham, Malawan, Wavakashwa, Shumka, Yahweh, Wabashwa, Wavalwa, Idea, Ai, Waparwa, Wayabadwa, Wayadaiwa, Kaya, Ata, Shumka, Yahweh, Yabaka, Al Yabwan, Al, Paul, Ha'arataza. Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thou silence, O my power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O my power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. A sword also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like the East. Yea, all their princes, as Zeba, and as Zalmunna, who say, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burning a wood, and as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, and men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. Prayer for the curses in English. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, listen to us now, right now, the evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen that speak against us thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. And evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the heathen that take loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Then evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Posse Comitazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airwaves, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Commit the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer. The Yahushua, Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua, thank you, always, so be it. Saw. Please turn. Shabbat, which means to be seated. chapter 21, in verse 2, in the Blue Letter Bible for the Hebrew. Before I start Hebrew, but I guess we'll start. So I gotta read that though. Nope, come on. Actually, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. It never pops up where it says reconnect. You hit that button double check. Verse 3. Sorry, yeah, verse 3. We are marveled. It's like we are marveled. The Ma, the Howell, I.S.U.P.K, the SHALAM, the I.S.U.P.K, the I, by SHALAM, the I.S.U.P.K, Hayawam, Maya SHALAM, Shabbat, Akkad, verse 4. What Hayat, Mama Farah, what Yashakayamla, A'aim, what Yabanwa, Sham, Mazabat, Waya Aula, Alawat, Washalamyam, Ha, verse 5, Waya Marwa, Vanya, Yasha'ala, Maya, Ashar, A'a, Ayla, Makwahor, Makal, Shabbat, Yasha'ala, All, Yahweh, Ayah, Ha, Shavuot, Ha, got a wall, Hayatha, La Ashar, La Ayla, All, Yahweh, Ha, Matazapah, La Amar, Muwat, Yawamah, verse 6. Wayanak Mawa, Banya, Yasha'ala, All, Banyamyan, Saki, Banyaman, Akyawa, Wayamaru, Nagadai, Hayawam, Shabbat, Akkad, Maya Sha'ala, verse 7, Ma, Naisha, Laham, La Nowathrium, Lanashium, wa anak naw. Nashabainu ba Yahweh Labalafia ba Laham Maba no Wat Benawo Lanashium, verse 8. Wayamaru Maya Akkad Yasha'allah Ashar La'a Ayla All Yahweh Ha Matazapa Wana La'a Ba Ayash All Hamakana Mayabayash Gala'ai All Hakwahal I clap it up. We'll go ahead and get it in English. Look at Judges chapter 21, verse 2 in English. And the people came to the house of God and abode there till even before God, and lifted up their voices and wept sore. Verse 3. And said, O Lord, God of Israel, why is this come to pass in Israel, that there should be today one tribe lacking in Israel? Verse 4. And it came to pass on the morrow, as the people rose early, and built there an altar, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. Verse 5. And the children of Israel said, who is there of all the tribes of Israel that came not up with the congregation unto the Lord? For they had made a great oath concerning him that came not up to the Lord to Mizpeh, saying, he shall surely be put to death. Verse 6. The children of Israel repented them for Benjamin, their brother, and said, there is one tribe cut off from Israel this day. Verse 7. How shall we do for wives for them that remain, seeing we have sworn by the Lord that we will not give them of our daughters to wife? Verse 8. And they said, what one is there of the tribes of Israel that came not up to Mizpeh to the Lord? And behold, there came none to the camp from Jabesh Gilead to the assembly. Verse 9. For the people were numbered, and behold, there were none of the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead there. Verse 10. And the congregation sent thither 12,000 men of the valiantest, and commanded them, saying, go and smite the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead with the edge of the sword for the women and the children. Verse 11. And this is the thing that they shall do. Ye shall utterly destroy every male and every woman that hath lain by man. Verse 12. And they found among the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead 400 young virgins that had known no man by lying with any male. And they brought them unto the camp to Shiloh, which is in the land of Canaan. Verse 13. And the whole congregation sent some to speak to the children of Benjamin that were in the rock Ramon, and to call peaceably unto them. 14. And Benjamin came again at that time, and they gave them wives which they had saved alive of the women of Jabesh Gilead, and yet so they sufficed them not. 15. And the people repented them for Benjamin, because that the Lord had made a breach in the tribes of Israel. 16. Then the elders of the congregation said, how shall we do for wives for them that remain, seeing the women are destroyed out of Benjamin? 17. And they said, there must be an inheritance for them that be escaped of Benjamin, that a tribe be not destroyed out of Israel. 18. Howbeit we may not give them wives of our daughters. The children of Israel has sworn, saying, cursed be ye that giveth a wife to Benjamin. Alright, so if you missed last week, we went over how it is that the tribe of Benjamin was deep into the spirit of IUIC, deep into that rainbow, spirit of, I don't think I can say sodomy, deep into the spirit of Gomorrah, and how it is that they went and they, assaulted a brother's concubine as a gang and abused her until she was, no longer alive. And the brother, he chopped up his dead concubine, sent her parts throughout the coast of Israel to bring awareness of what it is that was going on with the tribe of Benjamin. And we ended up going to war with them. Like all the tribes came together. We ended up going to war with the tribe of Benjamin. Ended up smiting them, to the point to where it was only 400 of them left alive that fled to the mountains. Just because that was the only escape it is that they had from, the rest of the tribes. And because so many of the tribe of Benjamin had perished, like the elders in the scriptures here at this time, like they had enough brotherhood to not allow for a tribe to be destroyed, to not allow for a tribe to just be done away with, and then they split up the inheritance of that tribe amongst themselves. And so even though they've already said that they wouldn't give their daughters the wife to the tribe of Benjamin, they came up with a loophole, you could say, so that it is that these brothers go out and get wives and cause for the tribe of Benjamin to continue to live on, to continue to flourish, which, that's a spirit of brotherhood that only the I.S.U.P.K would have in this earth today. Like, we're the only ones that want for all of the 12 tribes to flourish, to survive, to rule this earth side by side, blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. That's why we fight for all of our people, for every tribe. That's why we have food programs to help our people. That's why it is that brothers will gather together thousands of dollars, tons of resources, and when I say tons, I don't mean just a lot of resources. I mean thousands of pounds of resources. Food, clothes, water, hygiene products, medicines, basic necessities it is you need to survive. That's why it is that brothers in this school will gather those things and drive hours in order to give them supplies out to brothers and sisters that need them. That's why we are so willing to come against the government of our oppressor if it means that we could help one black, Latino, or Native Indian. That's why we're so willing to come against the cartels if that means we could help one black, Latino, or Native Indian that is in suffering, that needs some kind of relief. But you fake Israelites, you can't say the same thing. You would much rather have allowed the tribe of Benjamin to die off then, so that you could get the inheritance that the Lord promised unto them. And that's what you would rather do today. You would much rather the Latino tribes are done away with, so that you can get their inheritance. You would much rather that the Native Indians would be done away with, so that you can get their inheritance. And you will even allow for your own tribe to suffer if it means that you get to survive, because you are nothing but a selfish bastard. And you don't even care about those men that supposedly go to war with you in your fake Israelite group, in your break off of One West. That's why nobody can ever touch this school, because you can never have our spirit, and you can never do the works it is that we have been doing since 1969. The works we have been holding down, that we have been doing no matter what it is that we've had to sacrifice. Time, money, vehicles. You understand? Brothers have lost wives overcoming to do this work, lost children, lost sleep. Like, we've made the sacrifices that you and the Christian church have failed to do. And we will continue to make these sacrifices and continue to raise up this nation until we establish the kingdom of heaven in this earth and have rulership over all the nations, and bring every single one of you fake Israelites under this banner. You understand? Every one of you will bend a knee and see what real brotherhood is like, and see what it's really like to serve the Lord, because you're not doing it out there right now, and you're never going to do it until you come under this banner. Verse 19, then they said, behold, there is a feast of the Lord in Shiloh, yearly in a place which is on the north side of Bethel, on the east side of the highway that goeth up from Bethel to Shittim, and on the south of Lebanon. Verse 20, therefore they commanded the children of Benjamin, saying, go and lie in wait in the vineyards. 21, and see, and behold, if the daughters of Shiloh come out to dance in dances, then come ye out of the vineyards, and catch you every man his wife of the daughters of Shiloh, and go to the land of Benjamin. Verse 22, and it shall be when their fathers or their brethren come unto us to complain. And you know, a lot of you Christians, and you think Israelites, like, because you don't have the Spirit of Christ, you would take this as, you know, the elders going and telling these brothers to lay in wait so you can force yourself upon these women. Because that's all it is, that all of you desire is to assault some sister, to ruin her life, and to ruin her future for being with a man. You understand? But really what this is saying is, you know, go lay in wait, you understand? Stake out the area it is where them sisters go and dance yearly, where they have this celebration. If those sisters come out to dance, go and spit some game to them. You understand? Like, that's why. Sorry. Like that's what it means when it says to catch you, every man his wife. Like I mean, really, this is something only the brothers in UPK understand, because we're into much polygamy. We aren't into assaulting sisters. We aren't into pedophilia. So brothers understand that in order to catch a sister's attention, like, you got to be able to spit game to her, right? You have to have your, every brother has their own flavor of going about it, and that's what these brothers were told to do, and that's why it is that the fathers didn't simply just go and slaughter the men of Benjamin. You understand? Because if you go and you force yourself upon a sister or upon a child, you get put to death for it. But instead, they came and they complained about these men taking their these sisters as wives. That we will say unto them, be favorable unto them for our sakes, because we reserve not to each man his wife in the war, for ye did not give unto them at this time, that ye should be guilty. 23. And the children of Benjamin did so, and took them wives according to their number of them that danced, whom they caught. And they went and returned unto their inheritance, and repaired the cities, and dwelt in them. 24. And the children of Israel departed thence at that time, every man to his tribe, and to his family. And they went out from thence, every man to his inheritance. 25. In those days there was no king in Israel. Every man did that which was right in his own eyes. It's like it. We're going to be going to the book of Ruth, chapter 1 and verse 1. Ruth chapter 1 verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled that there was a famine in the land, and a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons. Verse 2. And the name of the man was Elimelech, and the name of his wife Naomi, and the name of his 2 sons Mahlon and Chilion, Ephrathites of Bethlehem, Judah. And they came into the country of Moab and continued there. Verse 3. And Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left, and her 2 sons. Verse 4. And they took them wives of the women of Moab. The name of the one was Orpah, and the name of the other Ruth. And they dwelt there about 10 years. So of course, this is a story or a book that Christians love, because they think that this justifies them going out and partaking in interracial relationships, when the Lord clearly told the 12 tribes of Israel to not go into that lifestyle, because he understood that by doing so, that us as a nation, we would give in to the gods of the heathens. You understand? And that's exactly what happens today, right? Of course, brothers and sisters, you can make an argument for Christianity, saying, oh, well, of course, because so many of us, because Christianity was forced on so many of us as slaves, that's why we're Christians today. But for brothers that go out and get you strange wives, you go out and you get an East Indian for a wife, you get, you go out and you get an Arab for a wife, or some Asian. Like you can go online, you can see all of the videos of the marriages they have, and even though they're in America, they still stick to the customs marriage-wise to those guys. Like they'll put on the garb, they'll have the little statues of their gods at the wedding, they'll keep the ceremonies and the traditions of those people. And then when they go home, they'll put that statue up and they'll make sure they pray to that every day. Like that's like the Lord is smarter than us as a people. Like he understands how it is that we think and how eventually we'll be persuaded to follow the gods of other nations, and how we'll be persuaded to turn from the Lord. Like that's why this school is so important, to teach our people the truth of these scriptures right here. You understand? But as I was saying, like Christians, they love this because they think it gives them the right to go and have interracial marriages when really like the land of Moab, like some of that land was given as an inheritance to the children of Israel. Like that's land it is that we were dwelling in as a people. And of course, as we get into the story, there will be more, I don't want to say clues, but there'll be more instances that show that Ruth was an Israelite, and that these brothers were not going out and getting them heathen wives, which I know that just kills you Christians, and regardless of what you call yourself, if you're Muslim, fake Israelite, you're all still Christian. I know that just kills you, but it's the truth. And that's what we're here for in the I.S.U.P.K, is to tell you the truth and to wake you up. Verse 4, or slightly. Verse 5, and Milan and Chilion died also, both of them, and the woman was left of her 2 sons and her husband. Verse 6, then she arose with her daughters-in-law, that she might return from the country of Moab, for she had heard in the country of Moab how that the Lord had visited his people in giving them bread. Verse 7, wherefore she went forth out of the place where she was, and her 2 daughters-in-law with her, and they went on the way to return unto the land of Judah. Verse 8. And Naomi said unto her 2 daughters-in-law, go, return each to her mother's house. The Lord deal kindly with you, as ye have dealt with the dead and with me. Verse 9, the Lord grant you that ye may find rest, each of you, in the house of her husband. Then she kissed them, and they lifted up their voice and wept. Verse 10, and they said unto her, surely we will return with thee unto thy people. Verse 11, Naomi said, turn again, my daughters, why will ye go with me? Are there yet any more sons in my womb, that they may be your husbands? Verse 12, turn again, my daughters, go your way, for I am too old to have an husband. If I should say, I have hope, if I should have an husband also tonight, and should also bear sons. 13, would ye tarry for them till they were grown? Would ye stay for them from having husbands? Nay, my daughters, for it grieveth me much for your sakes, that the hand of the Lord is gone out against me. 14, and they lifted up their voice and wept. or probably kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clave unto her. 15. And she said, Behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people and unto her gods. Return thou after thy sister-in-law. And of course, I know you Christians are asking, well, if these women were Israelites, well, why is it that she's being told to return unto her people and unto her God? Well, if you know anything about the children of Israel, you know that us as a people, we have always gone into following the gods of the heathens, unfortunately. We have turned our backs on our blessings, you understand, on our identity, on the covenants and the promises that was given to our forefathers. We turn our backs on all of that to serve the God of some heathen. And by doing so, we are viewed just as those heathens in our nation. I mean, you claim to have the truth, don't you? I mean, Christian church, you have what? Goddamn, 1 billion followers. You understand? A billion Christians out there that are supposedly serving the Lord, and you don't know this. You fake Israelites, you claim to have the truth after breaking off from the original school, which is the I.S.U.P.K, coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohanna. You claim to have the truth, but yet you don't know this. Yet you'll take this and you'll use it for an excuse to go and get some disgusting heathen woman. Like, are you so weak that you can't even fight your lust for your people? You understand? Like you'll find any excuse to go and be what you were. I can't even say what you were in the world because you're still in it. What you perceive as in the world, you understand? You'll find any excuse to go back and be that while still claiming to be in the truth. Meanwhile, none of you have the truth in you. Not a lick of it. Not an ounce, not a thimble, not a hair. None of it is in you. It's only in the I.S.U.P.K. And if you are Black, Latino, Native Indian, and if you want the truth, if you don't want to be deceived anymore, and if you don't want to be led astray and taught to be docile to the other nations, taught to serve, the gods of other nations, like if you want to be delivered and want to deliver your people, you should come into the I.S.U.P.K. And then you start to learn. And then, you become a trooper, start to raise up this nation. And be able to shatter the lies that have been told to our people for so long about these scriptures right here. Verse 16, and Ruth said, Entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. And the God of the children of Israel has only known Jacob, has only known the 12 tribes of Israel. So that goes to show you that whatever you Christians are saying out there about Ruth, it's a lie. Because she had just said, Slaki, thy people shall be my God, and thy God my God. Like the God of the children of Israel only belongs to one people. One people that are 12 tribes that make up that nation, which is Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. Nobody else. And it's as simple as that. And of course, once you come back to following the Lord, then you will no longer be viewed as a heathen. That's the only way that Naomi's people can now become Ruth's, because Ruth is no longer following the ways of the heathen. She's no longer worshiping their gods, but instead she is serving the Lord. Did this connection?
It's about to die.
Can you put it in power saving mode? Just swipe up. There's a little battery icon. Possibly. If not, you can just leave it. Verse 17. Where thou diest, will I die, and there will I be buried. The Lord do so to me, and more also, if aught but death part thee and me. 18. When she saw that she was steadfastly minded to go with her, then she left speaking unto her. 19. So they two went until they came to Bethlehem. And it came to pass, when they were come to Bethlehem, that all the city was moved about them. And they said, Is this Naomi? 20. And she said unto them, Call me not Naomi, call me Marah, for the Almighty hath dealt very bitterly with me. 21. I went out full, and the Lord hath brought me home again empty. Why then call ye me Naomi, seeing the Lord hath testified against me, and the Almighty hath afflicted me? 22. So Naomi returned, and Ruth the Moabitess, her daughter-in-law, with her, which returned out of the country of Moab, and they came to Bethlehem in the beginning of barley harvest. Ruth chapter 2 and verse 1. And Naomi had a kinsman of her husband's, a mighty man of wealth, of the family of Elimelech, and his name was Boaz. Verse 2. And Ruth the Moabitess said unto Naomi, Let me now go to the field and glean ears of corn. It's like it. After him, in whose sight I shall find grace. And she said unto her, Go, my daughter. Verse 3. And she went and came and gleaned in the field after the reapers, and her hat was too light on a part of the field belonging unto Boaz, who was of the kindred of Elimelech. All right, so with that, just move on the podium. Imagine. SHALAM, which means to Israel. With that, Amadim, which means to stand. Upon you like the dumb, is to turn, face the east. This is the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawu, Shabbat Shemayim, Kudash, I.S.U.P.K, Yahweh, Ulakaka, Taba'ah, Atazayaka, I.S.U.P.K, Ba'aratazah, Kawah, I.S.U.P.K, Bajamayim, Nathan, Lanaw, Lakam, Ko, Yawam, Wasalak Lanaw, Kawat Naw, Kazalak Naw, Kawat Naw, Wala'ah, Tabayay Naw, Banasai 1, Abo, Hawashai Naw, Man, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Kamalakwa, Wa'ala, with the part, La'awalamyam Aman, Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in the earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Wherever the cock or the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, Bobakashai, Nathanawa, Hakak, La Rapa'ah, Kal Makalah, Wakal Madawa, Hakak, La Tahar, Hamatazarayim, Hakak, La Hakim, Hamakim, Hakak, Al Rakawat, Hatama Allah, the Garshan, by Hashem Yahushai, the Water. Wherever the power in English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out in the name of Yahushai. Thank you, so be it. Wherever the blessings in the Hebrew, Barakatha Yahweh, wa Yahushai, wa Yahweh Allah, wa Allahayim, Matazabia, Alawap Yahanna, Alawapyam, Azaranyum, Hakadazayanyum, Hakayayum, wa Quadian, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, the Water Aman. Pray for the blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahanna, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, thank you, so be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew, Asha'at, Ayanya, Al-Oriya, Mayan, Yaba'at, Isaiah, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aishah, Shamayam, Baratazah, Al-Yatan, Lamawat, Rogoka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Anah, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yeshan, Shamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al, Yad, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Bayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Mukal, Rai, Yashamar, Atnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tadaatka, Wabuaka, Ma'aita, Wa'ai, Awalam. Psalms 121 in English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth, and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, all Damayah, Lakah, all Fakarash, Wa'ol, Tashakwat, all Kaya, Ana, Awayabika, Yahama, Yawan, Ra'ash, Awamaka, Yarayomwa, Sawada, Uyatha, Yaitazawa, Al Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanaki Dum, Magalia, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham, Yasha'ala, Iwada, Kaya, Nawaitazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Al Yaka, Barya, Yakarathwa, Alya, Arawam, Wayashmai, Alayum, Mawa'aba, Bulgarium, Wabal, Waimawan, Waimalak, Palashah, Ayin, Yashabia, Tazawur, Gam, Ashavur, Nalawat, Imam, Hayawat, Zarawai, Labanya, Lawat, Selah, Aisha, Laam, Hamadian, Kasa Yazara, Hayabian, Banakal, Hayasharan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayan the Aura, Hayawat, the Mun, La Dama, Shaidamwa, Nara, Yamabu, Kaira, Wakazaba, Wakazabak, Wakazazol, Manai, Kol, Nasayakumwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayurashah, Lanawa, Nawat, Alayam, Alaya, Shaitamwa, Kagogola, Kakwash, Lapanya, Boka, Kaash, Talaira, Yaira, Wagalahaba, Talahat, Arayam, Khan, Taradapma, Vazairika, Wabasa, Wapatka, Davalam, Malaat, Banyam, Kwalawan, Wayabagashwa, Shimka, Yaawa, Yabashwa, Wayabawa, Aidia, Ai, Wayabadwa, Wayadaiwa, Kaya, Ata, Shimka, Yaawa, Labaka, Al one, Al, Call, Aratazah. Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thou silence, O my power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O my power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, the Baal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as the Sisera, as the Jabin, at the brook of Kisan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeeb, yea, all their princes, as Zeba, and as Dalmunna, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as a stove before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. Wherefore the curses in the English. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua. Listen to us now, right now, to evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, to the heathen, to speak against us thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school, to evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel, that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction to the Edomites, and the nations, and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Posse Comitazi, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airways, the cable access channels, and the radio channels. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth, and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael, and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahushua, thank you always. So be it. Sar. Choose a turn. Yeshavia or Sake. Go ahead, my son. Arwathian Yeshavia. So salute to the brothers watching online, men of Israel. Imadu Shabbat, Imadu Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakathum, Yadi Matah, Arwathian Imadu, Sar. Salute to the sisters, men of Israel. Amadim Shabbat, Amadim Barak, Yahweh Shemar al Thun Ba'Hashem Yahushua.
Yahweh Shemar al Ba'Hashem Yahushua.
Yahweh Matah. Would anybody like to be anointed at this time? No? All right. Clap it up.